Hello and welcome back to the channel. Infill stations are stations that are added to a train line between two existing stations. The Canada Line was built ahead by incorporating 4 potential stops during construction, which is ironic considering how many people say it's underbuilt. Anyways, we will be exploring these 4 stations in this week's video. If you are into transit content like this, please consider subscribing to the channel. Anyways, let's begin. YVR Terminal 3 station will be located immediately to the east of the current terminus of the airport branch of the Canada Line. The exact location is right before the dual-track section converges into the single-track section. The 2027 proposal in the Terminal 3 expansion at YVR Airport included a new station to serve the new terminal. However, looking at the 2037 proposals, this diagram was removed completely and there's no mention of the proposed station anywhere on the updated document. For those of you paying attention to global events these past few years, the new station and terminal expansion is very unlikely in the near future despite the not too distant return of global travelers. So it's safe to say this station is not likely to happen at least in the next 5 or so years. Moving to Vancouver for these next 2 entries, we have 57th Avenue Station. This station is going to be located at the former Pearson Dogwood lands owned by Vancouver Coastal Health. That sounds familiar. Anyways, looking around the area, we see significant high-rise development going on around Cambie and 57th. The Health Authority has also obligated itself to foot the money for construction of the new station. However, the construction of this station at the site is not included in the long-term plans of the Mayo's Council on Regional Transportation and TransLink. Moreover, I think this station will do little to solve the east-west gap between 49th and Marine Drive, as the road network lacks space and directness for a possible route along 54th and 57th. So on a figurative note, this station remains up in the air. Located at Cambie at 33rd, this station would serve as a better access point to Queen Elizabeth Park. As with the other stations, it appeared as far back as the planning stage for the Canada Line in documents made in the mid-2000s. Although mid-rises line up along Cambie Street to the south, the determining factor for this station may very well be the outcome of the redevelopment of the RCMP facility 1 block west at the Heather Lands. The project is backed by Indigenous groups and a Crown corporation. The latest proposals see more than 2,500 homes built. If built, this station will theoretically be closer by foot to BC Children's and Women's Hospital while supporting the public transportation needs for the development. It's a cliche, but we save our most notable infill station for last. Capstan Station is a new station currently being built as we speak. This station is being built on the northeast corner of Capstan and number 3 Road in Richmond. At track level, riders can see where exactly the third rail switches sides from the outer part of the guideway to the inner part, indicating where the station will be. Around the station is a plethora of condo projects, with some of these completing construction just before 2020. To help build the station, the city of Richmond invoked a fee on new condo developments being built in the area. This fee ultimately collected the money needed for the station, around $30 million. And work is well underway. A shuttle operation on this part of the Canada Line saw trains running single track from Bridgeport to Richmond Brighouse for a few weeks in January. This station is expected to be open by 2023. Capstan might as well be the first station in Zone 2 with a bubble tea shop inside the retail space. I will have a few links in the description to the design overview as well as an opinion video. Aside from the new station on Sea Island, the new stations are being built to spur development. We see this as perhaps part of a failure to build up the areas around Broadway as an extension of the downtown core. Like with most other infill station projects in residential area, residents will benefit from increased accessibility. But as mentioned multiple times in discussion groups and multiple other social media sites, it has often been said that the Canada Line is underbuilt and experiences too much overcrowding. Remember that there were 12 trains that entered service in 2020 just before the health crisis. Since March 2020, the 12 extra trains that ProTrans BC just put into service have been sitting in the yard. Well, they have been running in service, but the service levels have stagnated since late 2019, early 2020. Without running on the increased schedule, we have yet to see the full effects on ridership. Some may also say that the new developments may indeed influence ridership patterns by building up jobs along the line, most notably at Oak Ridge, where there is a massive high-rise and multi-use plaza under construction as we speak. One is that despite the fact that there will be multiple jobs at the development site, one cannot ignore the large ridership base that will be established. In essence, there is no guarantee that all of those people will be taking up jobs located at that development. Hence, there will still be a growth of people heading from these high-rises into Vancouver downtown. And that leads us to our next quote-unquote half argument, the total capacity. Even with the increased capacity towards Vancouver, it can be said that there is still no room due to overcrowding. Again, the full effects of the increased schedule have yet to be experienced as alluded to earlier. Another critique is perhaps the most obvious. In this case, you're getting 3 additional stops regardless of which branch you take from end to end. That said, this is still much faster than driving and finding parking. Together, the stops add only 3 or 4 minutes to the commute, which in the larger picture isn't much. Traveling at 80 kilometers per hour with respect to the surrounding area is still very fast, especially when there are no highways into the city. Overall, I am on board with new stations being built on the Canada Line. It's good for accessibility and creates more ridership. However, it's too early to form an opinion on whether or not the extra capacity brought in will actually help out with rush hour overcrowding. Do you think that the Canada Line can fit more trains? Leave it in the comments. Personally, I think it would be nice to have more trains heading to Richmond during peak hours instead of a single alternating schedule between YVR and Brighouse. Anyways, thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one.